Hey guys, it's Big Nick Cuber. Today I'm going to teach you how to solve the Rubik's clock. Solving the Rubik's clock is actually a lot easier than you might think. In fact, if you can solve a 3x3, I'm assuming you already know how to solve a 3x3 for this tutorial, so this thing should be pretty easy for you. Okay, before we begin, I'm gonna go ahead and go over what I'm gonna call each piece. These parts right here are called the pins. Sure, you already know that. These parts are called the dials. The dials are directly attached to these 4 clocks here, which I call the corner clocks. And then these 5 ones in the middle, including this one I call edge clocks. So here's the basics on how the Rubik's clock works. What you do is you turn the wheels and move the pins, and that sets these clocks to certain positions. The corner clocks are locked together on both sides. So on both sides of the Rubik's clock, these ones always move together. The edge clocks, however, do not move together. They only move if the pin adjacent to them is up. Before we get into the solving, the most important thing I have to mention is do not turn a wheel if the pin next to it is down, ever. Because what that's going to do is mess up the other side. If you turn it while it's up, it'll only affect the corner clock on that side, and you solve those last. Okay, so before we get into the solving, I'm going to give you an overview on the method that I use. The first thing I need to do is align all of the edge clocks on one side, align all the edge clocks on the other side, and then align all the corner clocks. Okay, step 1. You can start on either side. It doesn't matter. So, what we're going to do first is align all of these clocks here. So, the way I'm going to teach you how to start is we're going to start with our pin order. So, what you're going to do is start with all these pins down on either side, doesn't matter. And now you're going to move this bottom left pin up. And then you're going to turn the bottom left wheel until this middle clock aligns with this upper clock. Maybe you might be lucky and it'll be already aligned, but this is what I got. Okay, now we're going to move this pin back down and then move this pin up. And now we're going to align both of these. We're going to align these 2 clocks to this one right here. This one on the right. Next, we're going to move this pin up, and then we're going to use this wheel to align these 3 clocks to this bottom one here. Like that. And now, we bring up 2 of these pins, these 2 pins on the right, and then we use either one of these dials, spin it until all these clocks are in the same position. Now what we need to do is move all 4 of the pins up, and then spin it until all the clocks point to 12. And so now we've got step 1 down, which is to align the first cross, as we call it. The second step is to align the second cross. We basically do what we did again. So I'm just going to do this for demonstration purposes. Start with the bottom left and use this wheel to align the middle to the top. Use the top left to align these, and the top left wheel to align these. Use this pin and this wheel to align to the bottom, and then use these 2 pins, either wheel, to this side. And yeah, now we bring all the pins up and move everything to 12. So yeah, it's pretty easy, huh? The last step is to align all the corners. So, as you can see, I got lucky and this one's already lined up. You might not be. But what we're going to do is, instead of using 1 pin at a time, we have 3 pins up at a time. And remember, do not turn a wheel if the pin next to it is down. So what we're going to do is find a clock that's not lined up. And we're going to move the pin next to it down. And then we're going to use any other of these 3 dials and then spin it until this one lines up to the rest of them. Now we're going to do that with another wheel that's not lined up, and we're going to spin any of the other ones till it lines up. And then we're going to do the same thing again. Do that. And then we're going to move all the pins up and bring it up to 12. So hopefully that made sense to you. And so let me scramble this thing up, and I'm going to I'm gonna show you another example solve again. Okay, so let me go through it again. So, bottom left, align to the top. Top left, align the right. Top right, align the bottom. Both of the right ones, align the left, and then bring it up to 12. I already have it up to 12. Other side. Bottom left, line up to the top. Top left, line it up to the bottom. Top right, line it up to the bottom. And then both of the right ones, line up the left one. And then all of them, bring it up to 12. And now we align all the corners. So, put one pin down, use any other wheel besides this one to align it to the corner. And then we do the same thing with another one. You align that down. Use a different wheel, and we align that over. And then the last one, we move it there. Now we move all the pins up, bring it up to 12. And guys, that is how you solve the Rubik's clock. I hope you have found this tutorial helpful in learning a new event. And that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I am Big Nick Cuber, and I will see you guys later. Peace!